Hi, today is Monday, January 22nd, 2023. Yesterday was our Lunar New Year holiday, and today is also another holiday because in Korea it's a 3-day holiday. But tomorrow it's another holiday. It is called replacement holiday because the holiday fell on Sunday yesterday. So our government decided to give another holiday for all the citizens in Korea. So these days we ate Korean traditional foods, but after that we are exposed to all those instant foods, instant cafe, and all sorts of bad foods. So I just came across this article. I just chose this article by its own title. I've never read this article. So we are going to learn what kind of foods we should avoid to live longer, to live healthy, to stay healthy. And I'm trying to read this article to practice English too. So it's a dual purpose effort on my part. I would like to memorize words, phrases, and sentences that I deem handy when it comes to speaking to foreigners. When I do business in English, it's purely my own judgment. So here we go. Food. This one is from Medical News. 20 foods to avoid eating to live longer. Obesity is now officially one of the biggest killers of our era. According to the WHO, World Health Organization, most of the planet's population resides in areas where more people die of overeating than of malnourishment. Because of this, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, I think it's centers, it's gotta be a plural, of the United States has confirmed that the leading cause of death is heart disease, both for women and men due to weight gain. If you wish to live longer, you better make sure to know what you are eating. The famous age-old saying, "You are what you eat," has definitely become a scary truth. It physically manifests in our day-to-day lives with the invention of trans fat and high cholesterol processed foods, ready to eat and packed with empty calories that do not provide any proper nutrition for our bodies. Hectic lives, stress, and different lifestyles make us lazy and uninterested in the ingredients that form our daily meals. To live longer, we need to be conscious of what we eat and what our body receives at all times. Most of our meal decisions are based on biases formed by strategic marketing and laziness. So here's a good expression. Most of our meal decisions are based on biases formed by strategic marketing and laziness. Biases, based on biases formed by strategic marketing and laziness. We do not know the contents of our food, thus not nourishing ourselves correctly. This ultimately leads to early death, cholesterol, heart diseases, and cancers alike. So if you want to change your life for the better or start eating healthy, you must change your diet. That's good expression too. If you want to change your life for the better and start eating healthy, you must change your diet. If you want to change your life for the better and start eating healthy, you must change your diet. In order to live longer, you need to make sure to remove certain foods at all costs to transition into better health. At all costs, at all costs, at all costs. Below, you will find the list of 20 foods you should avoid if you want to live longer and healthy. Make sure to remove them from your pantry if you have any and start living a healthy, long life. Pantry. Remove them from your pantry, okay? One, stop eating margarine. Even though we all know and adore margarine more than butter because of its vegetable oils content, it's not that good to live longer. Vegetable oils content. In fact, margarine has less saturated fats than regular butter, but it's absolutely not a healthier alternative. Even if it has less saturated fats, it is full of trans fats, trans fatty acids, also known as TFAs, trans fatty acids, TFAs. These occur when any vegetable oil-based product ends up solidified, such as margarine. When any vegetable oil-based product ends up solidified, such as margarine, this food will definitely not help you live longer. Trans fat. Trans fatty acids are the cause of clogged arteries, which in result restricts the correct circulation of blood and oxygen to our heart, thus causing heart attacks and early deaths. I think which results in, it gotta be which results in which in the result restricts the correct circulation of blood and oxygen to our heart, thus causing heart attacks and early deaths. As you may see, it is not a friendly food to live longer. Clogged arteries, Shutterstock. A study published back in 2011 by the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry revealed that the mice fed up with a high trans fatty acids diet for a period of 24 weeks ended up showing plaque builds up in the arteries. The authors of this study and research concluded that trans fatty acids inhibit a vital protein function, one that regulates the renewal of the cells and strengthens the immunity of our heart against some diseases. Because of this, if you wish to live longer, try to avoid margarine and move to a more natural and less fatty spread. If you like to have your bread moist and healthy, use natural fresh tomatoes to make the bread wet. It will also add some salt and taste to it. Another solution is to use some drops of olive oil or humus, both a healthy alternative to make sure you live longer. Last but not least, that's good expression too. Last but not least, try to also avoid butter as well as margarine. None of the two is good to live longer. Butter. Also, I should avoid butter. I thought butter is good because butter is basically coagulated milk with a salt in it, brine. I didn't know, so I should avoid butter too. Credit, free pick. 2. Processed meats. Processed meats are those that go through several processes of conversation before arriving for the public. Conversion, I think, go through several processes of conversation. I thought conversion before arriving for the public. These meats are preserved by slating, drying, smoking, and adding harmful nitrate as preservatives. Some of this meat you may well know as ham, sausage, bacon, salami, canned or smoked meat, and beef jerky. If you wish to live longer, you may want to rethink your love for processed meats. A research done in the past few years has shown that processed meats and its intake contributes to heart disease that can be fatal, as well as premature death and cancer. Another study published in 2013 by the Biomed Central studied the lifestyle information of almost 500,000 men and women from 10 different European countries. This research concluded that people who ingested processed meats on a regular basis were at a 44% higher risk of developing cancer, premature death, or heart disease. If you wish to increase your chances to live longer, you may want to keep this research in mind. Credit, free pick. Additionally, processed meats contain high levels of salt, which can lead to high blood pressure. In addition, the nitrate preservatives mentioned above may lead to clogged arteries and increasing blood sugar levels. Another research from 2010, published by the Harvard School of Public Health, put together over 1,600 case studies from all over the world, and the results were absolutely scary. It concluded that those that ingested processed meat on a regular basis had an increased 19% risk of developing diabetes. If you have diabetes in your family, or if you have any sort of heart disease, you will want to stop eating processed meats as soon as possible in order to live longer. Any small step can help you decrease the bad percentages and increase the good ones. Credit, Shutterstock. 3. Stop drinking sodas and soft drinks. In the U.S. alone, sodas are already considered the second most drunk beverage of consumers' choice just after water. Most drunk beverage. It's kind of I don't know. Never heard of this expression before. Most drunk beverage, but I think it grammatically is okay. But unlike water, sodas contain an average of 44 grams of sugar, or 1.55 ounce. One soda will not likely kill you, but drinking soft drinks regularly will spike your blood sugar, thus leading to excess sugar being transformed into fat and a higher obesity rate, as well as contributing to diabetes and increase in high blood pressure reports all around the country. A study published in 2006 by the American Society for Clinical Nutrition concluded that the consumption of soft drinks may cause adverse effects on the mineral density of bones. But that's not the only bad news if you are looking for a way to live longer. Credit-free pick. Early on in 2001, another study published this time by Lancet also concluded that ingesting daily sodas and soft drink beverages increased the obesity rate in children. The daily intake of up to 2 cans of soda will elevate the risk for young adults to develop diabetes, as well as the risk of developing gout in both adult men and women. Gout. What is gout? I forgot. But gout is more like a samagi, gout. So let's check out what a gout is. I almost forgot, but I know what it is, gout. Yeah, gout. What is gout? Gout is a common form of inflammatory arthritis that is very painful. It usually affects one joint at a time, often the big toe joint. There are times when symptoms get worse, known as flares, and times when there are no symptoms, known as remission. Gout. What causes gout? Gout is caused by a buildup of a substance called uric acid in the blood. If you produce too much uric acid or your kidneys don't filter enough out, it can build up and cause tiny sharp crystals to form in around joints. Ooh, that's fucked up, man. That's serious. I have the initial stage of gout on my left toe, and I didn't know it's caused by uric acid disease. Gout.
Gout. Gout. Gout. Gout.
Gout. Gout. Gout. Gout. What the fuck? We lost the where were we? Gout. I should not look for a word in the middle of reading. Sorry. Developing gout in both adult men and women. If you wish to live longer, you should avoid colas in particular, as they additionally contain phosphoric acid, which inhibits the correct absorption of calcium, increases the risk of osteoporosis, and also weakens your bones. In order to live longer but also healthier, it is necessary to restrict the intake of sugar. You can do so by avoiding sodas and soft drinks at all costs. Substitute them for water, herbal teas, and black coffee. It is also not good to take artificial sweeteners. But we will talk about that in the next point of this article. So click next and see what we have to say for you to live longer. Credit Shutterstock. 4. Stop using artificial sweeteners. They were also marketed to the consumers as the healthy alternative to sugar. However, the intake of artificial sweeteners will not only prevent you to live longer, but will also damage your body. Many try to jump from sugar to artificial sweeteners in an attempt to lower their calories intake during diets. But recent studies have shown that the intake of artificial sweeteners can actually increase the risk of diabetes. This is because they also raise the blood sugar levels, just as sugar would do, but they also additionally affect the immune system of our bodies. Another study published in 2014 by the Nature journal concluded that artificial sugars and sweeteners are not properly digested and broke down by the body. This leads to the intestinal bacteria absorbing the leftover sugars and thus altering their normal behavior, leading to a rapid weight gain in every case. Additionally, because the sugar is not broken down, it increases the risk of developing diabetes. So if you wish to live longer and you have diabetes cases in your family, make sure to remove sweeteners from your life. In terms of flavor, even though artificial sweeteners are way sweeter than sugar, thus needing a small amount, they also increase your cravings and dependence on sugar. This is because of the intensity and repeated intake of the flavor. Drinks and foods will taste differently initially, even a bit too bitter. You may not like their flavor at the very beginning without any sugar or sweeteners. However, after a few days, your taste buds will accustom to the new flavor and it will start tasting just like usual, even sweet. So to live longer, allow your body to have sugarless foods and drinks. Enjoy the real taste of food and fill your body with nutrition. 5. Say no to deep-fried foods. Frying foods has become one of the most used cooking methods in the last century. Some famous and worldwide eaten deep-fried foods are potato chips, fried chicken, French fries, onion rings, and many others. They taste like a heaven, but they are the number one enemy if you want to live longer. A little goes a long way, but too much oil is bad for your arteries, and deep-fried food contains an extremely lot of oil and fats. Additionally, the process itself is slow, which allows for the food to absorb most of the fat used to deep fry it. Foods that are covered in fat and on a regular basis clogs your arteries and increases your cholesterol. This is grammatically wrong. Foods that are covered in fat and on a regular basis Clogs your arteries and increases your cholesterol. All of this leads to heart diseases. In 2015, a study was published in the Journal of American Heart Association. This research introduced a direct association between the intake of fried food and heart failures. So whoever wishes to live longer should avoid fried foods at all costs. Additionally, a year before, in 2014, another study was published by the American Society for Nutrition Journal. It confirmed that the consumption of fried food on a frequent basis is directly related to a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes or even coronary artery disease. In addition, if you wish to live longer, avoid frying carbohydrate-rich foods like, for example, potatoes. When these foods are fried in a high-temperature element such as a hot oil, they produce acrylamide. This is a substance that is directly related to a high risk of cancer. If you wish to live longer and have a healthy life, make sure to reduce your deep frying to a minimum. Instead, use the oven-baked or grilled version of the same foods. I'll do that. 6. Microwave popcorn. Don't worry, popcorn itself is still a healthy snack to eat from time to time. The issue is not with the popcorn itself. The issue is the lining found in the microwavable bags. The U.S. FDA, Food and Drug Administration, which is in charge of food safety regulation, has advised the below. Popcorn bags are lined using PFOA chemicals, which keeps the grease from leaking on the dish. The problem is that these chemicals end up leaking into the popcorn instead when it is cooked. A study published in 2009 in Human Reproduction Journal states that PFOA is a cause for a higher risk of infertility. A year later, a study published in 2010 in Environmental Health Perspectives confirmed that the intake of perfluorooctanic acid, PFOA, could cause thyroid disorders. Additionally, when left untreated, these thyroid disorders can have higher risk to turn into cancer. If you wish to live longer, it is necessary to think of these studies. There are more studies published in the U.S. relating PFOA chemicals to many cancer types such as kidney, testicular, and breast. Additionally, the same chemicals are the cause of higher levels of cholesterol and thus a very high risk of chronic heart disease. Not only if you would like to live longer, but if you like popcorn, you don't need to stop eating it. However, make sure to know how it is prepared and sourced. Avoid anything that has PFOA and try not to microwave it. It is best to cook it on the stove or get it from the cinema, where it is prepared in PFOA-free machines. If you can't find alternatives, then, unfortunately, it is best to stop eating it entirely if you want to live longer. 7. Stop eating canned foods. Similarly to the issue found in microwave popcorn, cans also have a dangerous lining. However, it is not PFOA. Cans are lined in bisphenol A, PPA, which can leak into the food it contains. When consumed, it can cause a huge list of health issues. BPA can interfere with a proper regular and gene regulation in the body system, which leads to early puberty cancers and obesity alike. The Human Reproduction Journal published a study in 2013 which confirmed that BPA that is consumed through food can lead to egg mutations, which in result, I don't know which as a result. I think it needs to be better phrased as a result, which, comma, as a result, another comma, will lead to difficulties in having children. It also increases the risks of breast cancer growth in women. BPA affects hormones so much that in another study in 2013 published in the American Journal of Epidemiology, linked BPA levels directly with childhood obesity using urine tests. As mentioned above, obesity is one of the leading causes of death in the US. Really? Really? And childhood obesity is one of the causes of heart diseases once adulthood arrives. In order to live longer, it is necessary to stop eating canned foods. This can be easily achieved by consuming fresh produce and home-cooked foods. Most canned foods can actually be purchased fresh instead of canned. By making these small changes, you would be regulating our bodies, balancing the hormones and reducing cancer risks. However, if you want to live longer, there are also other small steps you could take. Not only canned food have lined BPA, but also many other containers such as water bottles or plastic jugs have BPA. Make sure to talk to the producer to find alternatives to BPA-free bottles and containers, not only for you but also for your children. All of this will help you and your family to live longer and happier. 8. Instant noodles. We all like how easy and quick instant noodles are. They are perfect for a dinner after a very hard day at work. Every single university residence is probably filled with empty instant noodle cans by now. It is the food of choice for students and busy people alike. They can be purchased in almost every grocery or deli shop. However, if you wish to live longer, they might not be the best choice after all. But why are they so bad? Instant noodles are covered in preservatives, seasonings, artificial colors, and artificial flavors. It contains a lot of useless and harmful chemicals, but minimal nutrition. It provides very high levels of empty calories, a lot of sodium and fat. All these are harmful mixes end up in your body when consumed. And if consumed frequently, they definitely will not help you to live longer. In South Korea, during a 2014 study published in the Journal of Nutrition, a total of over 10,000 adults were nutritionally researched. Those that reported a high intake 3 to 2 to 3 times a week were confirmed to have a higher risk of metabolic syndrome. This syndrome has symptoms such as elevated blood sugar, elevated blood pressure, cholesterol, and increased abdominal fat. All of these together combine into a very high risk of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. So if you wish to live longer, you need to avoid them all. Additionally, high sodium also develops into kidney and heart disease. By knowing this, it is way better to cook noodle the old way. Prepare some veggie broth, which you can then freeze and use again later on. Cook your fresh noodles in the broth, add your favorite protein, not processed, and enjoy. Live longer and enjoy healthy noodles all at once. 9. White bread. There is an ongoing fight about the properties, either beneficial or not, of bread in general. Bread as it was made in the past, with barely 3 to 4 ingredients, and with whole wheat flour, was a given price. That's another good term. People survived days having bread and milk. It was a healthy carbohydrate and filled with nutrition and energy for a hard day at work. However, with the introduction of refined white flour and sandwich bread, things changed. Sandwich bread has usually 15 to 20 ingredients, which have almost nothing to do with the original bread recipe. It is full of preservatives and artificial supplements. Additionally, white flour is just starch. In order to create white flour, the wheat kernel is stripped from its germ and bran, which are the only two parts containing nutrients that are important to our body. So germ and bran. I should look up the word germ and bran. Yeah, we have like a bran cereal. Germinate. Could be the seed eyes, kernel, the crust or the important part, central part of the seed. Starch is basically sugar once it reaches our body. It increases blood sugar levels, thus taking you at high risk of developing diabetes. Additionally, the same excess of blood sugar will also carry the risk of obesity by turning into fat and being added to your body mass. Because of this, it is easier to gain weight. Starch itself does not have any nutritional value. Additionally, sugar is digested too fast in the body, which makes you feel hungry soon after. Because of this, it can lead to a higher calorie intake due to more hunger. If you really like bread, go for local bakeries that prepare their own breads using whole wheat. Alternatively, prepare your own batches of bread, keeping the germ and bran from your kernels. Allow your bread dough to grow naturally before baking it. If you wish to live longer and enjoy the pleasure of eating bread, avoid the white one at all costs. I will do. 10. Soy proteins. Almost the entirety of the soybeans produced in the U.S. is engineered genetically. Really? In addition, they are sprayed with a protective herbicide to prevent weeds from forming. This spray is called glyphosate. Even though not usually labeled as such in the front of the packaging, some of the most commonly bought food products contain soy protein, either via processed oil or directly using soybeans. Most products contain them and can be checked in the nutritional and ingredients labels. A report published in 2010 and sent to the European Food Safety Authority and U.S. Environment Protection Agency, they gotta be sent, not send, exposed that glyphosate used in Argentina to cultivate soybeans was a direct cause of a high increase of neural deformities, miscarriages, pregnancy complications, cancer, and birth defects. Because soybeans are mostly in every processed food, it is important to read the labels. More importantly, if you want to live longer, we advise buying only fresh foods. By avoiding canned and processed foods, you will be avoiding a lot of harmful chemicals. If you like beans, opt for other types and avoid the soybeans themselves, unless organic and local. You can trace where they were grown and if any herbicides were used. If any, please avoid using them if you wish to live longer. 11. Sweet cereals. We have all heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Although this might be true, it becomes an early dose of poison if you opt for the quick and easy sweet cereal. This might be a convenient option if you lead a busy life, but the long-term effects can be detrimental. Many sweet cereals boast some or another health benefit. This might be true, but how healthy can it really be if it is mixed with other ingredients that are harmful to your health? When these convenient meals are produced, it goes through a range of processes to bring about a final product. During its processing, many ingredients are added, nutritious and harmful. The warning bells in your head should already be going off. When you hear the word processed, most of these cereals are loaded with added sugar and refined grains. The vitamins and nutrients are actually added to make it a bit more nutritious. Just the addition of sugar alone should deter you from consuming these cereals. Breakfast cereals are some of the most consumed items of food on the market. Be that because of the promise of added vitamins, the sweet, satisfying taste, or just good marketing. The fact remains that it is a popular food even though it is unhealthy. When one breaks it down, however, breakfast cereals are making us fat. The main reason is because of overeating. These products aren't very filling to begin with, so people tend to enlarge their portion sizes. What's more is that it is a high sugar meal. When you have cereal in the morning, your blood sugar and insulin and blood sugar levels spike. It doesn't take long for the effects to wear off. Then your body crashes and you crave another high-carb meal. Wear off, and your body crashes and you crave another high carb meal. You crave for, you crave for another high carb meal. In the end, all you are doing is pumping your body full of processed and refined sugar that leads to various diseases. 12. Ice cream. There are very few guilty pleasures as tasty as a creamy, tantalizing bowl of ice cream. The question is whether it would still be so irresistible if you knew how bad it actually was for your health. The negative effects of ice cream range from weight problems to cognitive ones. To be classified as ice cream, it has to contain more than 10% milk fat. But no ice cream is worth having if it doesn't have its flavor. Thus, ice creams are loaded with sugar. Milk fat is mostly cholesterol and saturated fats. This in itself should deter anyone with a history of heart disease to stay far away from this creamy treat. When a person's cholesterol is too high, it builds up a fatty deposit in the arteries that can interfere and restrict blood flow. This, in turn, increases your chances of having heart failure or a stroke. Because ice cream is so high in sugar and fat, the other obvious disadvantage is that it can make you overweight very fast. The sugar in the ice cream also causes you to crave more ice cream, seeing that it spikes your blood sugar. Not long after consumption, one also begins to feel drowsy and one's body craves another boost to stay awake. The disadvantages don't stop there, however. Ice cream is one of the leading causes of tooth decay and cavities. Once again, the sugar cane is to blame. Ice cream is very effective in causing cavities because of their temperatures. Your mouth is naturally warm, and when you eat too much ice cream, the quick temperature changes cause microscopic cracks in your teeth, and the sugar starts to eat away at your pearly whites. 13. Fruit juice. There is another food item that is being marketed as being healthy, but in actual fact can be quite damaging to your health. Although fruit juice is made from something that is actually supposed to be healthy, the saying that too much of a good thing can be bad never rang truer. Too much of a good thing can be bad never rang truer. Too much of a good thing can be bad never rang truer. 100% fruit juice is just that, the juice of fruit, and it is super sweet and full of sugar. Many fruit juices contain as much sugar as fizzy soft drinks, if not more. No matter how you look at it, too much sugar is bad. There are some beverage manufacturers that claim that their juices are 100%. What 100%? 100% juice. But this is misleading. The production process of fruit juice requires the juice to be stored in oxygen-depleted tanks after it has been squeezed from the fruit. Sometimes the juice is stored for up to a year before being canned. or bottled. Blasphemy. This is where the juice loses its 100% status. Due to the lack of oxygen, the juice loses the majority of its flavor. Then flavor packs are added to bring the taste back. Even the best quality juices are far from the juice found in the original fruit. Some lower quality juice can almost be classified as a fruit-flavored sugar water. The main difference between fruit juice and the juice found naturally within a fruit is the fiber. If one compares orange juice and whole oranges, both contain antioxidants, vitamin C and vitamin B1, but the juice contains much less than fruit and a whole lot more sugar. The lack of fiber means that the sugars are digested super fast, and if the energy isn't used, it converts to fat. 14. Chewing gum. This seemingly innocent little breath freshener has more than enough reasons why you should avoid it. You just have to ask yourself, how can something that you can chew without and not disintegrate be healthy for you? To start with, many chewing gums claim to be sugar-free, but to make them sweet, they are artificial sweeteners. They use artificial sweeteners. These sweeteners, like aspartame, has been linked to brain tumors, birth defects, and cancer. This is enough reason in itself to stop chewing. Many people who actually chew do so chronically and aggressively. This is an unnatural exertion of the jaw muscles and can cause certain mouth disorders due to the extra wear and tear on the joints. Furthermore, when you chew, there are 8 different facial muscles that work hard. 2 of these muscles are located close to your temples. When you chew too much, the muscles close to your temples put pressure on the nerves and can cause severe headache. That's why I have a headache maybe. When you chew too much, the muscles close to your temples put pressure on the nerves and can cause severe headache. Chewing gum is only a mask for bad breath, and it treats a symptom rather than taking care of the cause. Bad breath is caused by digestive problems and tooth decay. This means that in a way you are worsening the cause of the bad breath. Not only does it interfere with your metabolism, but the sugar causes cavities. Speaking of digestive problems, when you chew gum, your mouth secretes saliva, which activates your stomach to start producing stomach acid. This acid then doesn't have anything to digest. It is believed that the excess acid can lead to stomach ulcers or aggravate already existing ones. Lastly, when you chew plenty of gum, you tend to swallow an excess amount of air. This can cause you to feel bloated and even cause stomach ache and cramping. Really? 15. Energy drinks. There is almost nothing natural to energy drinks. These lab-engineered pick-me-ups have more than enough synthetic ingredients that your body just doesn't know what to do with. Pick-me-ups. Lab-engineered pick-me-ups. These lab-engineered pick-me-ups. What most of these energy drinks come down to is copious amounts of caffeine and sugar, both of which are not in the least healthy for a person. It is no secret that fizzy drinks are corrosive to teeth, but fizzy energy drinks get the job done even faster. They are up to 11% more corrosive and can quickly turn that cavity into a root canal. Alcoholics and energy drink fans have one thing in common, and that is the state of their livers. It was found that when a person consumes energy drinks on a regular basis, he quickly destroys his liver. Energy drinks are not the friendliest beverages for the health of your heart. When you consume too many energy drinks, you increase your chances of having a heart attack. This is due to the amount of energy that your body has to work with. Your heart was not meant to handle this amount of energy and overworks itself. When you frequently consume energy drinks, you are also more likely to develop headaches. The caffeine in the drinks is very high, and when you lessen your caffeine intake, it can lead to caffeine withdrawal, which manifests in headaches. Some people become very alert when they drink energy drinks, so much so that they can become anxious. In some cases, the sheer amount of caffeine can induce a full-blown panic attack. If that isn't enough, you have to stay awake through the ordeal because the caffeine can cause insomnia. Yogurt. We are trained to think that all dairy products are created equal. They also believe that if it's dairy-based, it must be healthy. That belief couldn't be further from the truth. That's good cliche. All dairy products are created equal. Not all dairy products are created equal. One of the biggest culprits is yogurt. A study published in the Journal of Academy of Nutrition and Diabetics showed that eating yogurt made no real impact on subjects' overall health. But what about the probiotics, you might ask? You are told yogurt is full of them, and we need them for good gut health. Doesn't yogurt reduce your risk of diabetes? Significantly, this study was based on the perception of the subjects. It didn't measure whether bone density improved or the probiotic effects of yogurt. The real fact is that yogurt can be good for you. It depends on what type of yogurt you are eating. There are many different types of yogurt. Some are full fat, while others have reduced fat. Some are sweetened, others are unsweetened. The obvious glaring culprit is sweetened yogurt. The sugar or artificial sweeteners added to it are harmful to your body. Reduced fat yogurt has plenty of flavors added to it to make up for the less palatable taste. These are not natural flavoring agents, so they don't do your body any good at all. Extra sugar is added to reduce the fat yogurt to improve the taste as well. If you want to keep your yogurt in your diet for its probiotic benefits and bone strengthening properties, you can. But don't buy low-fat flavored yogurt. Full-fat, plain yogurt is very good for you. Add it to muesli for a fiber-rich breakfast. Muesli? What is muesli? or add some fresh fruit toppings to it to give it flavor the natural way. Reduce the fat peanut butter. For most of us, peanut butter brings back memories of childhood. They are fond memories of sandwiches and cookies, and they make us feel good. There are days where nothing can replace a good old PB&J sandwich. Over the last few years, much has been made of the fat content of peanut butter. What? Over the last few years, much has been. What the fuck is that, man? This is grammatically wrong or syntactically difficult to understand. Much has been made of the fat content of peanut butter. People began to avoid it to lose weight. Finally, in what seemed like an answer to prayer, reduced fat peanut butter was launched, and we ate plenty of it. It tasted like regular peanut butter, but the reduced fat levels meant it was healthy, right? Wrong. Reduced fat peanut butter is unlikely to have any noticeable effect on your weight, and its potential impact on your long-term health are nothing to get excited about. In fact, they may be a cause for concern. What? In fact, they may be a cause. I think it gotta be singular. They may be a cause for concern more than anything else. Ask yourself this question: how does reduced fat peanut butter taste so similar to normal peanut butter? The answer is quite simple. A whole lot of sugar has been added to the peanut butter to make it taste better. Without the additional sugar, reduced fat peanut butter would taste bland, and no one would want to eat it. Would taste bland. It would taste bland. It would taste bland, and no one would want to eat it. Increased levels of sugar are harmful to your body. They have an adverse effect on your weight. They can result in obesity. In the long run, they can lead to conditions such as diabetes. It is a better idea to eat regular peanut butter. Yes, it does contain fat. But no, not all of it is unhealthy fat. Some of the fat in peanut butter is unsaturated. This is the healthy fat that your body needs to survive. Some of the fat in peanut butter is not healthy. That is true, but it poses less of risk than the added sugars in reduced fat peanut butter. Frozen meals. This is a very long article. Frozen meals. Whether you've had, let me stop here for a minute. Whether you have had a long day at work or you can't face cooking for one, frozen meals are an attractive prospect. You can buy them in bulk and keep them in the freezer. You don't need to put any effort into preparing them. All you have to do is heat and eat. The fact that the meals are frozen is not what makes them unhealthy. Freezing doesn't make significant changes to the nutritional value of the food before freezing. It doesn't change how much fat, protein, carbohydrates, sugar, or fiber the food contains. The key, therefore, is to what was in the meal before it was frozen. When you are buying frozen meals, read the label with careful attention. Many frozen ready meals contain high levels of sodium. I think this article is a bit not prepared well because we have typos there. and artificial flavors. They also include a lot of sugar and saturated fats. Those that contain a lot of vegetable oil are full of polyunsaturated fatty acids that are bad for you. The most notorious culprits are frozen pizzas, fried chicken, snack rolls, and breakfast sandwiches. Any breaded meat, such as fish sticks, crumbled chicken, etc., are not suitable for your body. All the artificial flavoring and colorants added to frozen meals can make them look and taste good, but that does not make them healthy at all. Frozen ready meals are often highly processed, which means they have lost a lot of their vitamin and mineral content before freezing. Another problem that frozen meals cause is the portion size. The portion size of frozen meal is small. Eating one will not satisfy your appetite for more than a few hours. Then, when you are hungry again, you will be looking for snacks late in the evening, which your body can't metabolize. These unhealthy eating habits can lead to conditions such as heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Pizza. Few people had a slice of pizza and disliked it. In fact, a lot of people can't get through a week without a pizza. Pizza fits. What the typo, man? What is that? The number of takeout pizza outlets we have access to is a testament to this. When you look at a delicious slice of pizza, you want to justify its healthiness. There are plenty of vegetables on it. Cheese is good for you, etc. These are just some of the ways people think when they want to believe that pizza is good for you. Unfortunately, this is not the truth of the matter. Pizza is full of calories, fat, and salt. It's the food of choice for many. Children and teens eat it at school or when they go out. Parents bring home a pizza after a long day at work, at the office. We've all seen the TV shows where dinner was a disaster, so the family orders pizza instead. The other thing about pizza that makes it a dietary problem is that few people can eat it in moderation. We develop the mentality that the box needs to be cleaned out as soon as it arrives. This leads to overeating. The fats and oils in pizza contribute to obesity. The result of obesity is a heart disease or type 2 diabetes. The fats also help high cholesterol levels which are very bad for your heart. The high levels of sodium in pizza can lead to high blood pressure. Not all pizzas are the same. Some are unhealthier than others. If you are buying pizza in a shop, read the labels and compare them. The toppings on pizza can also affect how healthy they are. If you include vegetable toppings and healthy unprocessed meats like anchovies, your body will get some nutritional benefit from pizza. So I should avoid pizza, man. It has fat, acids, and so on, and obesity, type 2 diabetes, donuts, and other baked goods. Let's face it, we all love a donut with our coffee at work. And who can say no to cookies and cake on somebody? Well, who can say no to them on just about any occasion, to be honest? But when we look at the list of ingredients they contain, the jury is in, not jury is out. And the verdict is that these foods don't do your body any good at all. Donuts, the jury is in, the jury is out. Donuts are delicious. Just the smell of them can get your stomach growling to tell you it's hungry. I think it's gotta be tell. Man, this is grammatically wrong. But they contain a triple trait when it comes to unhealthy ingredients. They include refined flour, which is of little or no nutritional value when compared to whole grain products. Donuts contain a lot of sugar. If you have donuts with delicious sticky toppings, it's even worse. Too much sugar leaves your body struggling to break it down and use it. It often gets stored as fat. Eventually, exposing your body to that much sugar can lead to it no longer being able to process or store it. This will bring about the onset of diabetes. The final fatal ingredient in donuts is trans fat. It comes from the submersion of the donuts in oil during the preparation process. It's estimated that a donut contains 10 to 20 grams of fat. And that's unhealthy fat, not healthy fat. As enjoyable as donuts and other divine baked treats may be, I think as enjoyable as not and. What's wrong with proofreading, man? You should have done proofreading. As enjoyable as donuts and other divine baked treats may be, the key is to enjoy them only very occasionally. Making them part and parcel of your daily diet will lead to obesity. Make them part and parcel of your daily diet. That's good idiom. Making them part and parcel of your daily diet will lead to obesity. Unfortunately, a lot of people turn to these foods when they are eating emotionally. They are comfort foods, but it pays to remember, that's another good cliche, it pays to remember that the comfort they provide is temporary, but the inconvenience they cause in the long term can be life-changing. Additional tips to live longer. Practice exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Light exercise like fast-paced walking will do. However, if you can add swimming maybe, or other cardio exercises, it is even better. Make sure to avoid stress. In order to do so, add yoga, mindfulness, Pilates, or meditation to your weekly routines. If you wish to live longer, stress will balance out and you will be able to enjoy your life at its best. Stress will balance out. And you will be able to enjoy your life at its best. It pays to remember the stress will balance out. Keep a healthy and balanced diet throughout. Make sure to eat fresh produce, unprocessed meat, and drink plenty of fluids. Avoid all the foods above, and in general, avoid anything that has unpronounceable ingredients. PFOA, PPA, and other ingredients. Keep moving, live longer. Wow, so there was a very long article, but we learned such expressions as it pays to remember, no stress will balance out, fatty acids, unsaturated fat, and so on. In general, we should avoid all the instant foods such as pizza, hamburgers, sandwiches, hot dogs, and canned foods, and also fried foods and white bread and all those terrible products that we consume each day, part and parcel of our daily diet, will kill us. So we should be always concerned about our health, and we need to learn how to balance out those terrible intake with meditation, mindfulness, yoga, tai chi, taekwondo, or some fast-paced walking or swimming, and so on. This article is riddled with some grammatic mishandling and syntax errors, but in general, this article is quite informational, and the author put in a lot of effort to educate us, to inform us of all those terrible foods we should avoid. So I really appreciate Medical News' effort to put out this article. And who is the author? Simi. I think Simi is the author. I don't know if it's your name or just shorthand for some other committee or company name, but you did a good job. But next time, do your proofreading so that non-English native speakers like me would not be confused. Luckily, I score perfect on TOEIC and TOEFL tests, so that I was able to correct all the mistakes you made. But for others, it would have been a terrible article sometimes. The jury is in, and next time the verdict is that you should do proofreading. Thanks for listening, everybody. I tried to read this as much as correct as I can, and I read this article to learn about the 20 different terrible foods, and also to practice reading and memorizing some key words, expressions, and cliches and sentences. And I did a good job. I just pat on my shoulder. Have a wonderful January weekend. Bye-bye.